Good morning, folks. Welcome back to another video. Well, today is a bit brisk, but it's still a very beautiful winter day. And I'm going to start this video with a story. So, back in the early 90s, when I first moved to the US from Canada, my friends took me to my very first Mexican restaurant. In that rural area of Canada I lived, there was no Mexican restaurants. So, of course, I didn't know anything about spicy hot foods. So I still remember there was a nice meal. I can't remember exactly what was there, but there was salad. So there was this green looking sauce that kind of looked like my grandmother's pickles. So I just slathered it all over the salad and thought, this will probably taste really good. Well, I started to eat it, and whoa! My face lit up. I was just crying throughout the whole meal. There was a Sprite there. I was just guzzling Sprite, trying to quell the flames. I just had no experience with really hot, spicy food. So, since then, I've come to appreciate Mexican-style food, but kind of in limited quantities, and also, as far as spicy, I keep it real mild. Well, today, on my very own property, I opened up a quote-unquote Mexican-style restaurant. Well, it's a really cold day today. Wow, feels like snow. Anyway, trying to begin constructing the Mexican cafe. So, for materials, I'm starting out with a 1 by 4 inch piece of pine that's 8 feet long. So we got our screen bottom for the cafeteria, and of course we need our our square and measuring tape. So we'll make the sides 15.5 inches. Well, as they say, measure twice and cut once, so got it wrong. All right, scratch that. It's 17 inches, not 15.5. Double checking, 17. The other one's 17. There we go. Now to do the end pieces. So these are only the sides. They don't need to be super thick, so I'm going to actually cut them in half. So since the board is 3.5 inches, half of that is 1 3/4. So I'm going to mark that and get it ready for cutting. So normally you need a table saw for this job, but I don't have one. But I do have this guy. Uh-oh, battery time. Good thing is I had extra batteries. Uh-oh, time for another battery. Okay. As I always say, be prepared. Having 3 batteries that were almost out of power is not my definition of being prepared. So, got to put these on the charger. I might just break out the handsaw, you never know. Somehow these 2 pieces were uneven, so I trimmed them up. Here I'm just dry fitting the bottom pieces that hold the hardware cloth in place. The hardware cloth grate makes it really easy for cleanup. You can just take a hose to it and any food crumbs are gone in no time. I love working with pine, but like any softwood, it can split easily. So I'm marking here where I'm going to pre-drill for for the screws. So far so good. Maybe someday I'll graduate to finish carpentry. These internal pieces help keep the hardware cloth in place and cover any metal sharp edges. They also make the whole unit sturdier. These sections of treated 2x6 will offer a way to mount the feeding tray. I'm using a 2-inch diameter standard black pipe cut to size. These 4-inch Timberlock screws do a wonderful job of holding everything in place. These screws with oversized heads will tack down the hardware cloth nicely. Since this is not pressure-treated lumber, painting is mandatory, and I hope it will make it look nice as well. For mounting, I just used a stake I had lying around, and once pounded into the ground, the 2-inch plastic pipe base will slip nicely over it. A bit of paint, and there we have it. So let me explain a little bit about this restaurant, or actually bird feeder. And bird feeding is a huge topic in and of itself. So I'm just going to give you a few pointers. I've been feeding birds since I was 12 or so. Here's some do's and don'ts. Number one, most important, keep your feeder extremely clean. If you don't have one that's easy to clean, get rid of it and get one that is easy to clean, because just like us, birds can get sick from eating off of dirty feeders. Second of all, do not feed bread. Yes, birds will eat it, but it offers very little nutrition, and their little bodies are not designed to process salt, and bread has quite a bit of salt in it, so that's a no-no. So what should you feed? Well, there are a lot of good bird mixes. One of the things that you can feed is just black oil sunflower. That's really good. And also any other type of bird mixes that do not have a lot of filler. The big culprit in the filler is a little red-colored BB-like seed called Milo. Some of the doves will eat it, but most birds just throw it away, so you're wasting your money with it. So you might want to know, well, what are you going to feed, Don? I'm going to feed my Mexican-style food. So this is a specialized kind of suet, not just the kind you'd get at a butcher shop. This stuff is formulated to be super hot, thus spicy like Mexican food. Why do you want spicy, super hot suet? So the reason to offer this hot, spicy suet is because some things just won't eat it. So squirrels, for example, as a rule, won't touch this stuff. It'll light them right up and they'll go just like me, the Canadian guy, trying Mexican food. Not happening. No, just not happening. And so also, a lot of mice and rats find it too hot as well. Although there's a caveat. If either mice or rats, in particular rats, are just starving and will eat anything, I don't know how they do it, but they brave through it. Maybe they're kind of like folks in Mexico that get used to it and really enjoy it. I don't know. But those are some general things about hot pepper suet. So you may ask, well, Don, what about the poor birds? What about Chester and Scruffy, your canyon towhees? How will they make out with this? Birds are very different. Biologically, how they're constructed, they have very, very few taste buds throughout their whole mouth. So what would just make us scream and call the ER, a bird goes, well, it's kind of different. I think I like that. I think. But they also like the consistency and they like feeling full as they eat this. And it doesn't harm them at all. And not only that, it gives them lots of energy. So as a rule, folks, you're not going to be able to find hot pepper suet at just any old store in town. I actually had to order mine from a company called Wild Birds Unlimited. It's a franchise all over North America, and they offer some great bird products. So there was a store in Tucson that I found online, and I visited the store in person years ago, and so I knew that they would have this stuff, and so I just ordered it and had it shipped to me right here. Now you'll notice I'm not touching it. Why? Because again, it's super hot, Mexican style, and if you touch your eyes after you've handled it, it can really burn. Now, you're not going to go to the ER, but it's just uncomfortable. So after I handle this stuff, I always wash my hands with soap and water. So I had to drive to the post office because I got a note in my mailbox that the package was too huge to fit in it. So I have no idea what it is. I don't remember ordering anything. It's from Amazon. Let's see what it is. It's heavy too. Oh wow, it says fragile. Is this, oh my gosh, is this what I think it is? Oh, I hope I didn't break it. There's a note in the box too. Oh man. Here we go. A gift for you. Dawn, I got you 2 windows so you can put one on each side to create a cross breeze in your building. Enjoy your gift from David A. Wow, David. I apologize for the emotion. Just caught me off guard. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Now let's open them up. Hope I didn't break them. You know, to be honest, I thought it was fencing wire, so I was handling it pretty rough. Beautiful little windows, and they're insulated. There we go. Now for the second one. Hope I didn't treat it too roughly, although I'm amazed how well these things are packaged. Despite me handling this like a roll of fencing, there's not a crack in it anywhere, and it's in perfect shape. Thanks again, David. You made my day. So as always, folks, thanks for coming by and watching these videos. If you have any questions about bird feeding or just birds in general, or about what I'm doing here on this off-grid property, please leave them in the comments below. Love to hear from you. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Click the notification bell thing. That'll let you know when my next video is coming up. And I'm hoping to get going on no end of projects as usual. And so until next time, thanks again. We'll see you on the next video.